Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. I don't see why this ain't jumping properly. Check 1 2. How do I sound? Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Get my sound right. Seems like my sound ain't right. Somebody said I should expose the Salah Shalom. I need to know what that is before I can. I don't know what that is. What is that? Anyway, let me get my sound right. Check 1 2, check 1 2. There we go. My mic is right now. Check 1 2. I don't know what that is, family. I'm coming in without intros today because I'm telling you, I got things to do. I might bring some intro. Let me see my Buddha more jump off. Get my Buddha more jump off. I'm gonna be selling my Buddha more again. That's right. I'm selling my Buddha more. That's right. I need to get my finance right. You know what I mean? Shout out to all those who support. You know what I mean? Family, I'm gonna let people get in. I'm still doing my final research. So give me a second. We looking good though, fam. We looking good tonight. Shout out to the family. Family, what y'all think about this reparations thing? Have y'all been caught up? Have y'all know what's going on with it? Everybody share this. I don't go live much. I don't go live much as I used to, so my algorithms are a little off. But we're about to go in tonight. Yeah, we're about to go in tonight. We're about to go in tonight. And this is pretty much I think it's an educational rundown on things that we should know about reparations, and how the frauds, man, I'm still grabbing stuff, This is something that we should know about reparations, man. And it's sad. It's sad, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's sad, that we in 2024, we at the age of technology. How do I sound? Could everybody hear me? We in 2024 at the age of technology, and it's like people are still left behind. No Child Left Behind did not work. I don't want that to be put on the for the Senate anymore. No Child Left Behind did not work, because it seems to me that us as a people have been left behind. I'm just telling you what to say. I'm just telling you what to know. I just tell you what to know. Hey, somebody been left behind. Yeah. Let me see something. Y'all think y'all gonna get reparations? What y'all think? Anybody think the reparations is coming? Anybody? Y'all know they just passed a bill in California. I'm gonna be speaking on it in a minute. Because most people think when these bills get passed that it's automatically going down. I'm gonna teach you something tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna teach you something tonight. Yeah, we will get it, but we won't see it in our lifetime. I'm with Thurman Smart. But I got the big if. If we get it, we won't see it in our lifetime. I'm with Thurman Smart. If we get it, and it's a big if. And I'm gonna show you why, because this is the setup. I like Crenshaw Redding. If it does, cool. But if not, oh well. I got a job. I'm good. I feel you on that one too. Family, share this with a friend, share this with a friend, share this with another friend, because in a second, I'm going to start the show. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to start the show. Let's get it. In a second, I'm going to start the show. And I want you to share this with a friend, and with another friend. Because I think I put in a lot of work on this research. So, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I put a lot of work in with this research. So let's get it started. I'm still researching, so let the music play. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more Yeah.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line.
That seemed kind of low, don't it?
Prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it was straight fact. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Then here we go again.
Yeah, that's pretty low, ain't it?
The same people talk European how to bathe and looking at women buying European hair.
I thought that was pretty low. Hold up.
The men really care. Hell now, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation.
I don't know what's happening.
Weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But where the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's
I don't know why that's so low.
under the cover. Now cipher. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you kill and fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Now
I'm still getting it together,
I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. LA. I'll be that more you gon' remember. New York. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I'm your host, Brother Harker Bay. And family, we got to go in today. Family, they've recently, they just passed a reparations, a bill about this reparations, and people believe that this a family. I'm gonna tell you, I'm the angel's advocate. I'm telling you, I am the angel's advocate. And if you don't want to hear my opinion, then that's fine. Let me make a disclaimer here. If you put something on the internet, if you live stream something on the internet, don't be surprised if someone will quote you on it. Don't be surprised if someone scrutinize it. Don't be surprised. And I say that to say this, that many times on the internet, people believe that they can say something on the internet and it should not be critiqued, or it's not up for critique and all of that. No, that ain't how it works. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how it works. I've been critiqued. I've been lied on. I've been accused of some crazy stuff. Hey, but that's the internet. It comes with the territory. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when one put out information in our community, then you should be prepared for it to be critiqued. Y'all hear what I say? Because if it's not critiqued, then there's a possibility that there is no truth to it, because it got to get through the litmus test. Once it gets to the litmus test, if it's official, it's official. But if it can't pass the litmus test, in our community, then we need to throw it to the wayside. And so anybody on the internet that is pushing an agenda on the internet, then we should have the ability to critique. Are y'all with me on that? Is anybody with me on that? Press 7 if y'all with me before I get this started. And I'm gonna say the righteous one, how are you? Hey, what's going on? What's going on in that Takaya and Paige? Takaya, the righteous one. We in the Matrix now, baby. I mean, what do y'all think? You know what I mean? Because people critique me all the time. All the time. Don't get mad. Nope. Don't get mad. I get more intelligent. I'm doing good. I'm good, Paige. The Moore's World TV citizens. You know we met on Moore's World TV, right? You know, it was back then when Grand Sheik Tahaka Bay was hosting. And yeah, they sitting on the porch drinking coffee. Yeah, those was the days. Moore's World TV ain't like it used to be. Yeah, I don't like the new host. Anyway, yeah. But family, listen, at the end of the day, family, if we believe that we are due reparations, wouldn't it make sense that there's qualified people that is pursuing the reparations? Family, I'm going to get right into it, family. They having a rally in D.C., once again for reparations, and the FBAs they're going to turn out just because it's DC. People going to walk past and they're going to turn out, and they're going to have this brother will be speaking. Now, when I talk about reparations, I am coming from a pure point of view that I am a commentator, and I just think we deserve it. You know what I mean? Now, are we going to get it? What is the intricate ways that it will come that way? I don't know, but I do have some suggestions. But when I look at people like Marcel Dixon, I just don't see what qualifies him to speak on reparations other than rhetoric. I don't see what qualifies him. Listen, the organizers, say for instance, if you have a whole task force in California, wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it make sense to at least get somebody that's on the task force? Wouldn't that make sense? To try to get someone that's on the task force to speak on reparation. Wouldn't that make sense? I'm just thinking that will make a little bit sense. I don't know about you, but for me, that would make a little bit sense to get someone that's on the task force. Do anybody even know who's on the task force? That's all I'm saying. Let's pull up the people that's on the task force. All you got to do, if people going to be speaking on reparations, can you get one member? Why can't one serious member on the task force be at any significant reparations conversation? They the one got the goods. They the one that have been pushing this thing. They the one that have been pushing. They the one that have been working. They're in California, and there's not at one of these events have we seen anyone leading the cause for reparations on any of these panels. Family, does it make any sense? I'm going to show you why in a minute. Not one in the state of California. Family, not one. Family, why do we falling for the okie doke? So you might say, well, what is the trick? Grand Sheik, what is the trick? Let me tell you, I'm tapped into the universe. Let me tell you, the the ancestors spoke to me. See, I got to talk to you like that to make you think that I got something that you don't got so you can listen to me. And that's not for the citizens, for those who just joining in. I got to talk like aliens talk to me for my people who are not Morse World TV citizens. The aliens came to me in my dream. They took me up in a spaceship and they told me the plot, and I'm going to share the plot with you. Will that make the sleepy brothers and sisters that don't know the plot listen? One of the first key clues is that a rally organized from the state of California and not have one speaker. And not have one speaker on that task force, family, that should raise a red flag of the seriousness or not so seriousness of any rally. Any one of these people would be qualified to speak on the progress of reparations. Do you know that the California Senate just passed a bill about reparations? Anybody know that? Press 7 if y'all know that. Are y'all aware of that? Anybody aware of that? That a bill was just passed. Is anybody aware of that? I need to know, is anybody aware of that? And we're going to talk about that in a minute too, because many people might don't understand the bill. Give me 1 second. Anybody? Nobody paying attention? They just passed the bill. But we're going to peel back the layers and I'm going to show you the plot, because the plot thickens. Family, let's get started. I don't want to talk you to death. People say that I talk a lot. I don't want to talk you to death. So in this conversation, you have Marcel Dixon coming to the stage. All right. Now, secondly, you're going to have Dr. Mayat. You're going to have a Dr. Mayat from Baltimore. She going to be speaking. Dr. Mayat, Vicky Dillard, and you're going to have Risa Islam. Now, let's go back for 1 second. Let's see if we can deal with Vicky Dillard real quick before we get to the rest. Vicky Dillard recently put a post up that Vicky Dillard Mystery School classified lessons increases Earth's new world frequency, thus exposing and diminishing the old world order. Enroll now for $45. Enroll now for $45. This is Vicky Dillard. She's going to talk to you about reparations. The Vicky Dillard Mystery School classified lessons increases Earth's new world frequency, thus exposing and diminishing the old world order. Enroll now, $45. You see this? You see this? $45 to join the mystery school. This is a panel member. Also, you have Sister Dr. Mayat, who respectfully is a doctor of engineering, if I'm not mistaken, electrical engineering. But one thing that jumps out about Dr. Mayat, and I'll get to that in a minute, let me get to Risa Islam. What qualifies a Risa Islam to be talking about reparations. A bunch of anger, a bunch of what the white man did, and I think we already know that. Where is the educational value about how reparations will come about? Let me share this with you real quick. See, at this point, man, it is what it is, man. I'm going to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. I was watching Dr. Mayat the other day, and Dr. Mayat made a statement. And this statement, I believe that she should be held to it. I believe she should be held to it. And I believe that standard, because she said it, is worthy to note for this conversation. Take a listen.
How like nowadays you could just make a YouTube channel and
let me get myself positioned real quick. On Dr. Mayat, go subscribe to Dr. Mayat if you're interested in history, STEM, etc., etc. However, in this conversation here, I want you to take a listen. Bam. All right.
nowadays you could just make a YouTube channel and just call yourself, an expert in anything, right? You could just be an expert. And that's how it is in the unconscious community. You could just present. You don't have to show that you've gone through a process where someone who was qualified verified that you are actually knowledgeable in this field of study, right? You could just present, and that idea is anti-black and anti-African in and of itself.
You hear that? She said that if you come forth and you present on a concept, let me make sure we hear it right, because this is the standard. According to this standard, there's nobody, even the organizer, is not qualified to speak on this. Check it out.
Nowadays, you could just make a YouTube channel and just call yourself, an expert in anything, right? You could just be an expert. And that's how it is in the unconscious community. You could just present. You don't have to show that you've gone through a process where someone who was qualified verified that you are actually knowledgeable in this field of study, right? You could just present, and that idea is anti-black and anti-African in and of itself. Because in our traditional societies, you always had to demonstrate that you are what you say you are. So to sit there now and act like it's acceptable to come into the community and present yourself to be something and not have gone through a qualifying process is anti-black, anti-African in and of itself. Brother Aunt, go ahead. And how
so now the question is, so now where is the qualifying process for those who are speaking on reparations? So that only applies to someone that you might have a disagreement with, and this just rhetorical, not addressed to Sister Mayat, because I respect the sister, but I'm just saying, we got to watch what we say on these airwaves. We got to watch what we say on these airways, because if that's the criteria that we're using, then there should not be even one person on that panel that has not been through the process that these people went through. Not one. Not one. So what that tells me, that there's something else going on, because the standard that's being said is not the standard that's being met. See, one thing about me, listen, I got love for Dr. Mayat. Don't get it twisted. However, if my mama is wrong, I'm going to tell her. If my sister is wrong, if my friend, listen, in this conscious thing right here, man, many people that I came in with, we don't even speak today because I called them out on contradictions in what they presented, and they couldn't handle it. But I'm saying, if that is the criteria? Why is it there's a whole thing going on with nobody qualified to speak on it? Why is it? Why is it? There's a whole task force that just today got a bill passed. There's a whole task force that got a bill passed. See, let me tell you something about me. The difference between me and a lot of people. Let me tell you something. I was invited to go to the reparations, to speak at the reparations. It was a reparations convention in Atlanta last year or the year before when they was talking about reparation again. I told them I declined. It was the respectful, and I want to meet the brother personally. I never met him. Dr. Silas Muhammad. If y'all don't know him, he is one of the leaders of a faction of the NOI. Very influential brother, very down to earth brother from what I've seen. He's been pushing things at the UN. And his staff reached out to invite me there. Now, I can speak on reparations, and you'll be able to see why I can in a few minutes. I declined, though. And the reason why I declined, because I looked at the panel, and I did not see anyone that has been in the fight for reparations on the legal level. Or on the level where we've seen people in the public. And so why would I be right there? Why would I be right there with a bunch of people where we don't have anybody that's actually walking down that road to qualify what we're talking about? To make sense of what we're talking about. Because in reality, we're from the outside looking in when it comes to the process. I didn't see anybody that was on the panel from that was in the process. So for the integrity of not only myself, but for the process, I say I'm good. I can show you the email, real talk. See, I create my own light. See, gods and goddesses, they create their own light. They don't need to shine under anybody else's light. We create our own light. There's no need to shine under anybody else's light. We create our own. But you got a whole 9-person task force here and not one of them there, and we don't think that's suspect. Anyway, now we're going to get to it. Let's get into the lesson for tonight and talk about what happened with the reparations task force, if we will. Let's get into the lesson for tonight. Family, y'all going to learn something tonight. And we're going to learn the plot, because the plot thickens, family. The plot definitely thickens. Let me pull this slide up real quick. So now, here we go. Let me pull it up. Bang, bang, bang. Family, please share this. I want all the reparationists check this out. This is one of them things I do. Hold up. Let me. One second. In the world, why can't I give me 1 second. I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Hold up 1 second, family. Why can't I? Okay, here we go. Window capture. Bam. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? California lawmakers. Here we go, family. I want y'all to get your pen and paper, family, and learn some history tonight. California lawmakers say reparations bill. Say reparation bill. Hold on. Let me wind it up. Make sure we're getting everything. California lawmakers say reparations bill, which excludes widespread payments are a starting point. Family, that's not a bad thing. It's good. It's good for media. It's good for media so far. Now you need to follow me, family. You got to follow me, because this is where the plot thickens. Notice, family, they're not talking about payments at this point. They're not talking about payments at this point. And so when you hear people say we're getting reparations, they're not talking about payments at this point. Family, let me just roll with it. I don't think I have to go over this 500 times with you. You are the Moorish World TV citizens. I think you'll be able to follow along fine. So let me just get busy with it. Let me shrink myself a little bit so I can blow this up a little bit more. It's because we're going to teach tonight. We're going to teach tonight. Yes, indeed. We're going to teach tonight. All right. So here we go, family. I want you to follow this. Share this with a friend. Share this with a friend and with another friend. We're going to teach tonight. Now listen. They in the assembly. They're going over these bills. They're going to get this bill right. You follow me? They're going to get it right. This is the task force that was given the task to get this thing done. Now let's get started. California Senate advanced a set of ambitious reparation proposals Tuesday, including legislation that would create an agency to help black families research their family lineage. Family, this is where the plot thickens. To help research their family lineage and confirm their eligibility for any future restitution passed by the state. In the U.S. Congress, a bill to study reparations for African Americans that was first introduced in the 1980s has stalled. Illinois and New York State passed laws recently to study reparations, but no other state has gotten further along than California in its consideration for reparation proposal for the black Americans, Now, I want you to listen close to me. Family, it stood out to me in studying this as I'm like, California. We know that California, somebody said, widen my screen. Oh, my bad. We know that California, let me get my screen right. My bad. We know that California, let me shorten my, y'all don't need to see me. So look, we know that California is the state where the feds take over Hollywood. Are y'all aware of that? That Walt Disney was a federal agent, that most of those that infiltrated organizations for our betterment was sent to California or were groomed in California. Anybody familiar with that? Anybody familiar with that? Why am I saying this about reparations? Why are we in California with this one? California has always been the incubator to stop resistance movements in America as it relates to our people. And I did a show on that before, and people might say, "What, you jumping out the window?" No, I'm not. No, I'm not. They control Hollywood. They control Hollywood. And the agents come out of there. Whether it's Berkeley, whether it comes out of there. It is what it is. So why California with this test, family? Follow me real quick. Family, let me show you something. Out of all the states in the United States, the pink states are the states that suffered slavery in 1789. Everything to your left was other countries the blue was free territories and the dark blue was free states. Why do the study in California? I'm going to keep going. In the 1800s, same thing that I just mentioned. In 1821, the territory began to expand. You got slave territory. But the light blue is free states. And the other light blue, the baby blue is free states, and the light blue is free territories. You're going to know where I'm getting to in a minute. You're going to know what I'm getting to in a minute. 1837. Look at the states that have enslaved Africans or indigenous people. Nothing to your left. Look here. 1846. Still no slavery legally or even connected to the slavery in the South. So what states should be studying reparations right now? Wouldn't it make sense that the states that was knee deep in slavery be the states that be pushing? Man, this is all a setup, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. The states that really practice slavery has not even moved a muscle for reparations. Hasn't even moved a muscle, and this is by design. This is a horse and pony show. This is a horse and pony show. Now, those that are on these teams right here, they may be genuine, but somebody put this in motion to distract from the real issue. The real issue should be working towards some sort of independence, getting it from the mud, simultaneously seeking reparations for those things that happened in the past to our ancestors. But you don't start in a state that didn't even, let me go right here. Listen to this, family. You don't start in a state that once they joined the Union, they had it in their constitution that slavery is illegal. Y'all understand what I'm saying? California's constitution proclaims that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude unless for the punishment of a crime, same thing that it says in the Constitution of the United States, shall not be tolerated. So the point that I'm making to everybody is that at this point, it's a legal issue. And if California had it in its constitution, if California have it in its constitution that they do not support slavery, then where is the crime? If there is slavery in California, the crime is against the individual, not the state of California. So once again, where should the reparation task force be? Family, talk to me. Am I crazy? Where should the reparations task force be? If California, slavery is a legal thing. It's a political thing. But if California is covered by its constitution, it doesn't matter if the slavery still was practiced. That was against the individual breaking the law. So if it came down to the nitty-gritty, Californians can say we don't owe nobody nothing because our Constitution when we entered into the Union, declared we did not practice slavery. And anyone that practiced it was outside of the law. Are y'all with me? Yes or no? So this is a horse and pony show. This is a chasing of the tail for a group of people who desire to be compensated, but the starting point should not be California. It should not be California. Somebody put this in motion, and that's why you got the cheerleaders rally. You got the cheerleaders rally to get people away from the true issues. And people really think that this is going to make headway. Let me tell you something. The good thing about this, if you look at the silver lining, you can look at the process and duplicate it in the South. Now, one of the things that they setting up is the Freedmen's Bureau in California to connect to, listen to this one. Oh my goodness, listen to this one. Hold on. Family, this is crazy when you really consider it. Sacramento, California. Black lawmakers in California on Wednesday introduced a package of reparation legislation calling it a starting point to atone for the state's legacy of discrimination. You hear what they say? The state's legacy of discrimination. The California Legislative Black Caucus introduced the package more than a dozen proposals month after a first in the nation reparation task force sent a report 2 years in the making to lawmakers recommending how the state could apologize and offer redress to black Californians. The package does not include widespread direct cash payments to black families. So while people are cheerleading, people better get some people in the South to start talking about some reparations, or those that have went north, because I'm going to tell you about California in a minute. It shouldn't be blurry. You should be able to see clear. It shouldn't be blurry. But listen, you might got to blow your phone up. I mean, widen your phone. Let me see if I can widen it for you. Want me to widen it for you? See if I can widen it for my sister Yasmin. All right, I'm going to widen it for you right there. Yeah, man. All right. Let me make myself a little smaller. All right, there we go. Now listen. It says that the package does not include widespread direct cash payments to black families. We are witnessing the effect of long-standing institution of slavery and how that impacts our communities. Democratic Assembly member Mike Gibson said at the press conference at the state capitol. Now, let me tell you about these smoke and mirrors now. I want you to pay attention. The proposal must now garner political support as the state faces a massive budget deficit. Do anybody know how much the deficit of California is? Can anybody paying attention? Anybody paying attention? What is the deficit of California? Anybody know? The deficit of California is approximately $65 billion. You really think that they're going to squeeze that up out there? Huh? You really think? Why start at California? Why start at California? Family, it's the horse and pony show. That's what it is. Now listen to this. And you can do your own research on this too. Listen to this. California American Freedmen Affairs Agency. A bill by Senator Stephen Bradford, a Los Angeles area Democrat who was task force member, would create an agency known as California American Freedmen Affairs Agency to administer reparations programs and to help black families research their family lineage. Lawmakers have not yet released an estimate for how much this would cost. Now, let's stop here. Let's stop here. Let me put myself in the corner. Let me put myself in the corner. Now let's stop here. Why is this important? They're creating. Listen, this is the old pacifying demonstration. This is the old pacifying demonstration. Okay, they're going to accept a freedman's. They're going to make it a freedman's affair agency for black Americans, quote unquote, to research their family lineage. Family, let me tell you something. Most of the people that migrated to California, they either changed their name because they was running from the South, because the South was free. I mean, the South was still enslaving people, and California was supposedly a free territory. Most of the people that migrated to California, they actually changed their identity. Now, that's number one. Number two, family. Why start at California when you got people right in the South right now that can trace themselves directly to a plantation? Family, y'all hear me? California was a free state. So most of us that went to California was to escape slavery from the South. Or they was brought by slaveholders. That's the only reason was to go to California. It was like going to the North. And when they went to California, they changed their name just in case the slave catchers came from down south. Try to catch them and bring them back. Did you hear what I say, family? When I'm saying it's a horse and pony show, it's a real live horse and pony show. It's a real live horse. I know people don't like this type of data. I know people don't. I know people really doesn't like this type of information because it doesn't agree with all the hope that you have built up. I get it, but it's the reality. It's definitely the reality. You follow what I'm saying? Let me share something with you that I read recently. I pulled it up today, and I find it to be interesting, and so I'm going to share it with you. Give me 1 second. And it makes a lot of sense. Now, even if you're not in California, if you just in the South. Yep, and Takaya said something else too. Or maybe they were already residing there. And if they were already residing there, then it would not qualify. So again, I asked the question. I'm not saying, El Boogie, you being from California, you may know your lineage, but I bet you know this to be true of what I'm talking about. You take Snoop Dogg, for example. Snoop Dogg know that he came from down the South. I heard his story. I'm talking about majority of people in California that's been there for generation after generation after generation. Check out this. I read this commentary, right? And I find it to be interesting. It say finding slaves in their enslavers. Yeah, he from Alabama. Listen to this. Finding slaves and their enslavers is a very difficult task. Is very difficult and takes a lot of luck. Listen to this. First, talk to the oldest members of your extended family to see if there are any oral history as to the plantation their ancestors worked on. Then trace your ancestors back to the 1870 census. The first census after emancipation. Not all slaves, listen to this, not all slaves took their owner's name, but it is a start. See, they know this thing. See, this thing got to be rewritten. This thing got to be rewritten, and it got to start in the South. It got to start in the South, or it got to start in the North. It can't start out West, because most of those that ran from slavery went up North. Some went West, but for the most part, many stayed in the South. It says, not all slaves took their owner's name, but is a place to start. In the 1970 census, are there whites with the same surname? In the 1970 census, are there whites with the same surnames as your ancestors? Look at the 1860, 1850 slave schedules for the county where your ancestors reside. Most people don't even know this. You know how many, man, you're talking about millions and millions of people would have to do this. You hear this? Family, press 7 if you hear me. We're talking about millions and millions of people would have to do this. If y'all just tuning in, y'all need to go back and rewind real quick. Y'all need to go back and rewind real quick. In fact, let me rewind just a taste to give people an update real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me rewind just to give people an update. One thing that I said for y'all just stepping in the room, please hit the thumbs up. Slavery is where the pink at. You understand what I'm saying? This is where slavery in 1789. Slavery in 1800 is where the pink at. Slavery in 1837 is where the pink at. Slavery in 1846 is where the pink at. Slavery in 1861. Slavery is abolished somewhat, some like to say, in 1865. California is a free state. They write in their constitution that there will be no slavery or involuntary servitude except for the in case of a crime. So if California is a free state, it gives California the ability to say, nah, this is a legal issue and we are not responsible because we did not legally sanction slavery. And if slavery happened in California, it was against the law and it was against the individual. Go pursue the individual. You can't pursue the state and ask the state to pay for a crime that the individual did. That's why I say, so what state should we be studying reparations? We should be studying in the South. And this is why I say it's a horse and pony show. It's a horse and pony show. We should be studying in the South, period, point blank. But somebody redirected the reparations movement to California in a place that cannot even sustain the argument that they owe somebody. They don't even have to argue the point, I mean to say. They don't even have to argue it. All they got to say is that it's not our law. That's not our problem. Our Constitution supports that we didn't support slavery. Now, if you can prove that we was aiding and abetting, that might be something different. Now, back to my other point. The reason why this is an amazing horse and pony show is because, again, most people would have a hard problem to identify themselves to the plantation and the slaveholder. You feel me? You feel me? What up, Black Light? Peace and love, Akron. As my brother would like to say, Blackron, Ohio. But with that being said, so in this thing, it said, look at the 1860 and the 1850 slave schedules for the county where your ancestors reside in 1870. Now, what I'm saying is, most people, bro, do y'all really believe in this age of Diddy, in this age of what's her name? Sexy Red? Do y'all really believe in this Sexy Red age that these brothers and sisters will have the know-how to? It's going to be hard anyway. But do you understand what has been put into the hearts and minds of our people And you talking about that they're going to trace themselves to a literal individual and a plantation? Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, family. Do you really believe that in the age of Cardi B, Puff Daddy, that people will be tracing themselves to an individual and a plantation? I'm not saying we don't deserve. I'm not saying we are not owed. I'm saying that this is a horse and pony show and we need more qualified people to address this issue and not fall for the okie doke that California is leading the charge. California is leading a nice show. And let me tell you something. I commend their efforts because I believe that the task force could possibly be serious. Somebody said, don't be a pessimist, GS. You underestimate your people. I think you're wrong right there. I'm looking at the data. My people is not the one that's giving out the check, my brother. What do you mean? My people is not the one giving out the check. See, when you're dealing with the system in the United States of America or any oppressive system, every time you get to the goal, they move the line back some more. Every time you get to the goal, they move the line back some more. And I'm telling you right now, this is enough room to move the line back. But hey, I just don't believe in fantasies. That ain't my thing. I believe in reality. And the data does not support what people are all up and clapping their arms about. The data don't support it. It just don't support it. Not from California. Not from California. Listen, Atonya, not from California. You have to understand the history of California. The history of California was a free state. The history of California is that people escaped. They changed their name. They didn't want to be captured in California. It's a free state. So Atanya, you mean tell me you can trace yourself back to a plantation? Let me see, is Adam Yah. You can trace yourself back to a plantation, brother? Man, maybe I should open the line. You can trace yourself back to a plantation, brother? Let me just talk to him for a second. Bear with me, family. We in the chat right now. We in the chat. Adam Yah, you telling me that you can trace yourself to a plantation and your slaveholder? Huh? You can trace yourself to a plantation and a slaveholder, brother. Let me get the goods. I'm interested in this. See, one thing about Morse World TV, brother, we are not into the fantasy, brother. I mean, and I'm not doubting that you can or that you can't. I'm just saying that let us see the goods. Let us see the goods. Let us see the goods. Listen, many people will get mad and think that I am trying to rain on their parade. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm just trying to get you into some reality real quick. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to get reparations, then you got to do it the right way. In California, unfortunately, that's not the right venue. That's not the right venue. California is not the right venue. Period, point blank. I don't see where Adam at. Where is he? I don't see him. Anybody see him? I'm just saying that that's not the right venue. That's all I'm saying. Family, real quick. If you are in the Baltimore area, on June the 8th, I will be doing a lecture unveiling Islam. Family, an African tradition for Pan-African empowerment. What I will be doing is going into the essence. You say you messaged 4 times. What you mean? Message me where? I messaged 4 times. Where you message me at, brother? Tell me where you messaged me. Hold on. He messaged me. You didn't say nothing but no message? Hold on. Let me see where he messaged me. He said he messaged me and then gonna put a LOL. Where did you message me at? I don't see it on Facebook. Is it an IG? Let me see. Instagram. Where he messaged me at? What he talk about? He messaged me. He gonna say he messaged me and then start laughing. Like, where you messaged me at? I mean, let me see if it's in Instagram. I don't see it in Instagram. Now, what I'm asking, brother, and I don't want to get stuck here, but what I'm asking, brother, is, and did anybody see? What I'm asking is, can you show your connection to a slaveholder by name or a plantation? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Can you show a connection to a plantation or a slaveholder? That's the only question. And that puts us in reality. That don't put us in, I could trace myself back to the census. That is not what it calls for. What's the slaveholder name? Hey, brother, email me. Let's see. TahakaBay@gmail. I'm going to keep the show going. What's the slaveholder name? And where was it? And I'm going to move on. I'm going to send you my email. I'll bring you on the show. I want to look at that. And I'm saying some people can. Hopefully my secretary will get this to me. I mean, so yeah, let me move on. Hopefully my secretary will get this to me. Now, with that being said, family, on June the 8th, family, if you are in Baltimore, Philadelphia, if y'all know about my research, y'all know I do a phenomenal job of taking care of looking deep. You follow what I'm saying? So if you're in the Baltimore, D.C., Philadelphia area, come on out to 5525 Hartford Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21214. It's going to be a fabulous demonstration unveiling Islam. We will be going to the essence of Islam, not the Islam that you think is. We ain't talking about the cover up Islam. We ain't talking about the Eastern Persuasion beard Islam. We're talking about the Islam that was practiced by the founder of Islam. We're going to be coming with receipts, and we're going to show that Islam is African by nature. Is African by nature, family. And we're going to show how Islam is instrumental in liberation, the liberation process. Family, it's going to be something that you ain't never seen before. I guarantee you I'm going to shock the world. I'm bringing receipts. It's going to be off the chain. Now, but with that being said, somebody said my granddad knocked off for 20 or 30 years before I was born, changed his name, so I will have to do a little research. There we go. I mean, the best I could do is Aiken and yeah. And let me tell you something. It's not impossible. Don't let me discourage you. What I'm saying is, I want you to hear what I'm saying. That California, you hear what I say, family? California would be the most complicated and California would be the most, are you from California? California would be the most complicated place to trace yourself to a plantation, is my point. So back to my main point. The average person would have a hard time to meet the burden that this task force have set up. You follow what I'm saying? That's the point that I'm making. It says, check the Freedmen Savings and Trust Bank records, especially if your ancestor lived near a big city. The earliest signature cards on the Freedmen's Savings and Trust Bank as former owner's name. That's right. They guard in the studio. That's what they supposed to do. They guard in the studio. That's right. I got the window crack. I need some air. They doing what they supposed to do. Mm-hmm. They guard in the studio. I got mods in the studio. They call pit bulls. That's right. Somebody say all you need is surnames and get started with location. It's not that easy. It's not that easy, family, due to the fact that people didn't keep the same names, my family. They didn't keep the same names. They didn't keep the same names. Names changed through marriages. It's not that easy. It's not. Listen, according to this, right? It said, look at probate wills, administration and estates, records of owners that died before emancipation. Slaves as property was named in these records and valued assigned for the purpose of probate. Often children under the age of 5 were not named, but listed with their mother, Sarah, and her child. See what I'm saying? A few places, usually county level records, tax slave as property, and sometimes the slaves are named in the records. Look at the local Freedmen Bureau records. Usually one office served 2 or 4 counties in Georgia, which has small counties, to see if your name, ancestor name is there. You are really looking for that needle in a haystack. So listen, if you're able to find yourself to the plantation, then that's good. If you're looking like El Boogie, if you know who are you from California, El Boogie? Are you from California? I said at the onslaught of this, I said the place to start would be down the south, because they have a direct connection. So El Boogie, are you from up north, down south, or California? Where you from? California, El Boogie? Let me wait on El Boogie. If you're from California, where are you tracing yourself to? Virginia? Would you like to come on the show and show us and share with us how you did that, so others who are interested, they're able to do it? El Boogie, would you like to do that? California born and raised in Louisiana, California born and raised Louisiana. My mama said Texas and Oklahoma on my daddy's side. Would you like to show us how you traced yourself? U.S. rural blacks supposed to have purchased from Lexington Market receipts. What's their name? Lexington Market. See, I'm going to give me 6 weekend fried. South Ever ketchup? South Ever ketchup? Bro said Lexington Market. No. Phoenix Moon is the genealogy expert. All right, we'll see. That's so. Look, you say no, so you can't get reparations then. If you cannot trace yourself, document it, that is the criteria. Bro said, me too, El Boogie. Okay, listen what I'm saying. The criteria is not to have a vague understanding of the plan. You have to prove it. That's why the Freedmen Bureau is set up. You have to prove it in order to qualify. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying it'd be difficult for most those who are descendant of slaves. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you're going to have to show and prove, because that's what the bill says. I'm not saying it. You just can't, like for instance, my grandmother, I got her on tape. I mean, I got my grandmother recorded. She tells me that all she remember is they came from Virginia. I mean, oh, okay, L Boogie, okay. All this time, L Boogie. Can you believe all this time I'm thinking L Boogie saying that she was on L Boogie, my bad. I thought you were saying that you can, your ancestry as it relates to slavery. My bad, L Boogie. Come on, L Boogie, my bad. I was not referring. Come on, L Boogie. I was not. Oh my goodness. I was not trying to refer to. I'm gonna walk away. But L Boogie, we're talking about lineage. Lineage can mean that you trace your lineage to the slave, to a slaveholder. Lineage don't mean slave. Yeah. What are you talking about, L Boogie? Yeah, lineage you can trace your lineage to a slaveholder. Anyway, let me move on. Anyway, family. Again, it says it would be like trying to find a needle in the haystack. And back to my main point. Back to my main point. My main point is that California, from a legal standpoint, would not be the place to start. And they started the Freedmen's Bureau in California. It says, California voters passed an initiative in 1996 to ban consideration. Oh, let me move myself out the way. To ban the consideration of race and color and nationality in public employment, education and contracting decision. Voters again decided to uphold that law in 2020. One of the reparation proposals would allow the governor to approve. Hold up. Am I missing something? To approve exceptions to that law in order to address poverty and improve educational outcomes for American and other groups. Now, with this saying, if you don't understand what this is saying that if anything, you will get priority to get into the workforce. They need you in the workforce. Oh no, walk up to Lexington Market, man. Look at the date. Oh no. I'm making a joke, Daryl. I know slaves was traded at Lexington Market, bro. I know the history here. I'm just was joking with you, brother. Anyway, but so they will let you get into the workforce. They will let you become a stimulus for the workforce. That's what this is about. Y'all understand what this is about right here? One of the reparation proposals would allow the governor to approve exceptions to the law. In other words, according to race, color, sex, and nationality in public employment. So they will push you to the front of the line to get you in the workforce. They need you in the workforce. In other words, that's what schools and colleges are for. They're to train you and to push you in the workforce so you can stimulate the economy for America. Absolutely. And that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So they're going to push you to the front to address poverty and improve educational outcomes for African Americans and other groups. They're going to improve educational outcomes. How do you improve educational outcomes for quote unquote African American without an African-centered education? They will never have an African-centered education in school systems because the African is not the only student. This is a melting pot. How you going to have improved educational outcomes? The system of teaching those descendants from the inhabitants of Africa and those who are indigenous to this land, the way that we are taught is different. This is why Umar can make a living off teaching parents who concerned about their children who are falling back, teaching them that he has the answer. Because Umar understands that an African-centered education would knock this education system out the park. And although Umar is not going to give anybody an African-centered education, that's a part of his selling point. That's a part of his selling point. My bad. You follow me? What else they gonna throw up? What else they throwing up? Compensation for land that was taken. Remember that this is in California. Bradford introduced a bill for the state to compensate families whose property was seized through eminent domain as a result of racism and discrimination. Bradford did not offer details Wednesday on how the state would determine whether the property was seized due to racist motives. Family, you know how hard that would be? This proposal becomes after Los Angeles County in 2022 returned a beachfront property to descendants of black owners decades after local officials seized it from them. And that was decades, but we're not talking about, decades is 10 years. And Deca, 10, December, 10, decades. We're talking about they're planning to turn land they planning to return land all the way back and all the way up due to the institution of slavery, family. How likely is that? I like what T-Bird Life said. That's how we know it's a joke, T-Bird. That's how you know it's a joke. Soon as the European counterpart fall into distress, they send the money to their European brethren. So if they wanted to do that, California don't have the money to do it anyway. Y'all do know that, right? California do not have the money to do this anyway. They just don't. Man, get some Kimo, man, man, that's the any tea for this thing that I got. Man, I'm trying to tell you, this weather crazy out here. They didn't put something in the air, family. I don't care what you talking about. That what's that thing is? That pollen out here. Good goodness gracious, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. You talking about give me some tea and man, that pollen out here something else. I'm trying to tell you. Kim O'Meal, my wife know about that stuff. There. Is that the red leaf thing right there? Look like a rose a little bit. It look like the rose. Yeah, that eclipse. T-Bird Life. That I'm telling you, that eclipse. That eclipse ain't no joke. It didn't set people crazy. They got could know a tea bag. That's what I say, a tea bag. Rosemary tea. I'm gonna get some rosemary. You know what I mean? But listen to me, family. Let me get this straight before I go too late. Listen, family. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all understand the trick bag? This is a trick bag. And I'm not saying that the activist that is pushing this on that the board, are they aware of it? But somebody put this in California for a reason. Somebody put this in California for a reason. Now, the FBA thing is the cheerleader to keep you focused on this thing. Notice that the trick bag completely comes out of California. The cheerleader comes out of California and makes the most noise. And the legislation comes, or the group that is fighting for it is in California. Y'all don't see the trick bag? The cheerleader comes out of California. But the cheerleader is distant. Listen, man, y'all ain't from around way. The cheerleader, check this out. Watch this. So the cheerleader, right? Let me show y'all. So the cheerleader distanced himself from them. But now the cheerleader is going to do the entertainment side to make people think that it's a real thing. And then the task force is going to run it through the legal side, and they might even be genuine. But when you look at the probability of it going full circle in California, then you have to question the whole operation. Two other states have task force. Last time I checked, and maybe a few more, is New York. Hold on. Give me 1 second. What states did I name? Illinois and New York. Illinois was a free state in 1821. New York was a free state. 1789. Y'all see the trick bag? Do y'all see the trick bag? New York in 1789 was a slave state. By 1799, it was a free state. So you're asking someone to trace themselves back up to New York. So that next task force that is going down the pipe is, hey, have y'all noticed? Where is Illinois? Where is Illinois? Illinois came in as a free state, it appears. So why are these states, family, do we got on that thinking cap? Put your fez on. Everybody put your fez on. That's the thinking cap. That's the thinking cap. Family, I'm telling you, y'all need to share this with a friend, share this with a friend, share this with a friend. This ain't nothing but a trick bag operation. Allegedly. This is, family, do y'all really understand where I'm going with this, family? This is a trick bag operation. Y'all know I'm at my best when I'm at my research. This is a trick bag operation. Chris say, put your face on. Yeah. There you go. Stargate. Illinois is Indian territory. There you go. It's a so why would Illinois be studying reparation before something like South Carolina? Why would they have a task force before Georgia? Why would they have a task force before Mississippi? Come on, make it make sense, family. Make it make sense. Family, you know and I know that this don't make no sense. You know and I know that this don't make no sense. Family, they can play this game for the next 100 years if they want to. They can play this game for the next 100 years. See, you're not going to find an analytical channel like Morris World TV. Nah, this is the real deal here, family. I hope y'all thumbsing up in this thing. Now, hold on. Let me finish my... One of the things that they said that they asking for is a formal apology. They always, man, why do Negroes always want an apology? Man, ain't nobody tripping about your apology, man. We always want a public, you got to apologize to me. You got to apologize to me. What? Man, you ain't got to apologize nothing, man. Let's see if we gonna cut this bread. I mean, let's see about that. They want an apology. California never lawfully practiced slavery. In 1849, the California Constitution Convention was held, and one of the most heated debates was on the status of slavery in the new state. While some Southerners favored giving official sanction to slavery in California, Northern abolitionists and white American minors opposed it. The convention ultimately decided not to write slavery into the Constitution. Although California entered the Union as a free state, the state constitution initially allowed for involuntary servitude, except for punishment of crimes. In other words, the same way it says in the Constitution of the United States, except for a crime, slavery is permitted, but they use the term involuntary servitude. This exception was rooted in the legacy of slavery and forced labor in California's history as it relates to a crime. So unless you are able to show that you were locked up and you worked on the chain gang, this does not apply to you. Family, y'all see this trick bag, family? This is a whole trick bag, man. This is a whole trick bag. And listen, let me tell you something. I know. I'm telling you this, family. Listen to this. Listen to this, family. In order to prove this, it's going to be a tough task. And I'm not saying some people can't prove it. You know what I mean? I can trace myself back. You know what I'm saying? I can trace myself back. But not to a plantation. Not to a slaveholder. And I can do mine live and show you. I can trace myself. I can bring the recording of my grandmother. I recorded it before she passed away at 90. She was 90, 91. You know what I mean? But my grandmother says she don't even remember a slave story. I got it recorded. She said all she remember is when she was a little girl, they moved from Virginia. And all she remember was stories, was talking about on the farm, growing and farming, and this person came from this place and came from that place, but never a slave narrative. Never. I mean, I don't deny that slavery happened. I know it happened. You know what I'm saying? I know that we are suffering from the remnants of what happened during slavery. I believe that we have been convinced, whether we were genetically connected to the process of institutionalized slavery, chattel slavery or not, we have been taught to believe that we are. And so that belief has led us to do the most craziest things. Our history was stripped from us, whether we are indigenous here or indigenous to the northwest, southwestern shores of Africa. Like we're all still clueless. And for the sake of that alone, it has set us back and keep us back by the way of our mentality, underdeveloped. And it has everything to do with the way that the system has been set up and operated since the time that we came in contact with European settlers and oppressors. Everything about it does. The way that we treat family, the way that we treat friends, the way where we can't even disagree without everybody want to go toe to toe like it's war. Everything about it. Soon as we beefing about, you see people on the street, they argue about a cigarette, they gotta fight each other. In the boardroom, they argue with each other, they be ready to fight at the water cooler. But when that European come around, oh no. You ever see one of them? Moist lips, shoot. Moist lips, man, in that courtroom, shoot. Well, you know, I fear. I really fear. You know that. You know That's all comes from the experience that when taught to us through history. That's all a part of that psychology that runs through the experience post-slavery. Whether you can trace yourself to a plantation or not, the experience post-slavery has subjugated you, if you're copper tone, if you're melanated, to believe that you came from that experience. And most of us did. But most of us, man, who knows? My grandmother could have blocked it out. My grandmother, her grandmother, they could have blocked it out. We're not sharing this stuff. I don't want to talk about this stuff. Who knows? But we know we suffer from the residual effects of institutionalized slavery, chattel slavery. We suffer. I don't care if you say you're indigenous and you wasn't no slave. I don't care what you say. You don't clearly know your history like you think you do anyway. I invite anybody to the channel to lay me out your history, and I will even take a trip to your Indian reservation or your land. So whether you are indigenous or whether you are descendants of a slave here in America, your history is still kind of screwed and blurry. Like it or not. And if you say no, email me. Come on, let's meet up. Let's go to your family homeland and let's take a look. Let's look at the records. Let's keep it a buck. I think that'll be an amazing show for Moorish World TV. But other than that, man, we gotta stop playing. With that being said, family, I think this is how y'all feel about tonight's show, family. Can I get a thumbs? Let me see how many thumbs up I got. Oh, we got plenty thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. We got 109 thumbs up. We got we done went about three something in the building. Listen, family, I really, really appreciate y'all. You know I do, right? You know I do, right? Family, appreciate y'all thumbs up. I hope y'all enjoyed this research. But I'm gonna tell you, family, the FBA cult ain't nothing but cheerleaders for a fantasy. But it's designed like that. You gotta have the cheerleader. You gotta have the cheerleader and the smoke and mirrors to make it look authentic over here. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta have the cheerleaders. And so the FBA have been trained to be cheerleaders, but you will never see them intersect because one is doing a job here that is designed just to cheerlead. And then the other one is to push the legislation that is really a carrot dangling degree. It has to happen like that in order to us to chase our tail and forget what we supposed to do or not even discover what we supposed to do. One thing that should be done almost immediately when it comes to reparations is a task force need to be started in the South. So when you got someone that's from South Carolina, like Marcel, he's supposed to be starting a task force. He's supposed to be starting a task force. He's not supposed to be running to the California concept of reparations. He's supposed to be starting a task force in South Carolina. All of that speaking engagement, none of that. He's supposed to be starting a task force. That's it. All of that showmanship and all them fancy talks, no. Because if you could trace your lineage, to a slave plantation, the person that would be able to do it is one who have been down the South and is still in the South till this day. The probability is real high for one who is in the South and has been through the South for generations since slavery. The probability is super high. But California? Nah, family. That don't make sense. So peace and love.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Nah, man, that don't make sense. So with that being said, family, as I said, family, don't forget, if you are in the Baltimore area, family, I'm going to be doing a mean lecture, family, and I can't wait. I can't wait, family. And I just hope y'all going to pull up, family. And I'm just saying that if we're going to qualify something, let's qualify for what it is. Last year, I went to a Juneteenth celebration and Rakim was there. Now they got Big Daddy Kane in the house. You know what I mean? Trying to compete with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And the weird thing about it is, let me see what Big Daddy Kane.
What do you think about when it comes
Listen to
to
this.
400 years of slavery here in America, and there's been no compensation for the demise of our human rights as a people here? Do you feel like reparations could be awarded to us without it being a negative connotation, whereas we could work with the government in rebuilding ourselves without them feeling threatened?
Without them feeling threatened?
Yes.
You
get it?
I mean, I feel there's a way that we can work, where we can work towards it, but without them feeling threatened, hell no. Hell no.
Wow. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow and a hell of a road to hope.
You have to look at what's been happening in the world. Laws created to protect gender hate,
Listen to this.
Asian hate, cruelty to animals.
Mm-hmm. But feel free to hate us.
We got Juneteenth.
What do you think about?
You see that? Big Daddy Kane will be performing, and he's not even a reparationist. He said they gave us Juneteenth. Now, and if his opinion changed later, that's something else. So we already know it's smoke and mirrors and entertainment. Man, we better wake up. People's grand shit.
I be that more you gon'
People's
remember.
grand shit.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you.
That my
and bind
baby
you
girl.
back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European, how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really
Love you
care?
too, Yasmin.
Yeah, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rockin' fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast mistake. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you kill and fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember.